Mic check, mic check.
Hi, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Tony.
And you're watching News, Booze, and Reviews. It's a show where we don't really have any news.
There wasn't much going on this week, but we have photo reviews, booze, and we're here every Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time in the U.S., New York City Central Time.
And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, or online store and your ideas. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 customer support. So you can try Squarespace at squarespace.com and enter the offer code PHOTOLIVE to get 10% off. It starts at like $9 a month. It's pretty affordable. It's all drag and drop. It's really easy.
The deal works great. We both use it and love it. And thanks for letting us make this show. Siobhan, our usual screener, is on the way here. She's on the road, so she can't be working at the moment. But we brought in special guest screener, Erkki Alvenmod.
All the way from Sweden.
Yeah. How you
And
doing,
his son,
Erkki?
Robin, who is running away.
His son, Robin.
Run, Robin.
What is up, guys?
Hey.
Hi, guys.
So Erkki's going to be going through your comments and filtering things through, so you can ask us questions directly. Erkki will see them and send them on the show. This is Erkki's portfolio, just to introduce him a little bit. He's become an amazing photographer. We first met him when SDP was knee-high to a grasshopper, as they say.
Who says that?
It was a few years back, and Erkki had just bought a little like NEX7 or something, like a little Sony mirrorless camera, and he had all his little lenses in a little bag, and he was all very careful with it. And now he's got a big old D800. He's just cranking out beautiful photos all the time. Check his portfolio out, alvenmodphoto. I think it's .se because he's Swedish. We've looked at his portfolio a couple of times. I think a lot of people already know Erkki. Just wanted to give him a plug. Thanks for joining us today, Erkki. Jump in anytime.
Thanks.
For our theme next week,
We have a poll. So you can go and you can choose. Do that.
you're going to decide what type of picture we're looking at next week. Go to scp.io/poll3. We'll look at it at the end, and then whatever you pick. You can write something else in too, I think. So if you don't like any of our ideas. Another way to ask us questions besides writing in the comments is to tweet us at #TCLive. Justin's going through those so he can read them to us in real time.
This week's photo theme is spring. I'm pretty excited.
All right, so
spring pictures.
Send in your spring pictures if you're watching this show live at 5 o'clock on Thursdays, and we will review it. You can upload them at sdp.io/submit. Should have put that on the slide. We forgot. sdp.io/submit, and we'll take a look at it. Before we get into your pictures, I just want to talk a little bit about the Samsung NX1, because we got this in for last week, and I hadn't really had a chance to do too much with it. But this week we were reviewing the Nikon D7200.
Yeah.
And one of the tests we did was just a sports test, like a focusing test. And we do our kind of objective test, and we took something like 800 pictures with the different cameras. And I expected the Samsung to do terribly, because the mirrorless cameras just don't track motion like the DSLRs do.
You would think that, Canon fanboy. What happened?
It just ate everybody's lunch.
It rocked your world.
Yeah. It beat the 7D Mark II. It beat the D7200. It beat everything, and I just couldn't believe it. The focusing accuracy still didn't match the DSLRs. It got, I think, 78% accurate, whereas the D7200 and the 7D Mark II were at like 93%.
Yeah.
So they got a higher percentage of shots in focus. But the Samsung, it does 15 frames a second. For real, it's unbelievable. And that's incredibly fast. It's like watching a video almost when you play the still photos back. And it just got more sharp photos in focus. So congrats, Samsung. It's really great. We have a full review coming, as well as a review.
I had no idea.
Up Saturday for the D7200.
Okay. Yeah, you can get our books for like $9.
You probably already know about them.
You crazy cheapskates. Do it. Do you like my threatening tone, Erkki? I took a marketing class. Just threatening people, it's like pretty much the #1 tip they give. Shaming. Yeah,
Uh,
it's pretty pro.
Erky, what are you drinking over there?
Whoa. Well, I had a Brooklyn lager, so I had a Swedish T-shirt and American beer, right?
Aw.
But that's all gone now, so I'm switching to Scandinavian Carlsberg.
You
Can I
drink
do that
all
on
of the
TV?
American beer.
Or-
And Justin, you prepared a special drink for us on camera here today. What did you make for us?
Sorry, had to find my foot switch thing. Absinthe, Lucid Absinthe. It's on the desk right in front of your computer there.
Yeah, so I understand the absinthe is like what all the writers used to take in
Am I gonna get creative if
old
I drink
England
this?
at least the old type of absinthe had hallucinogenic properties.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was better.
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, they found a way to strip that good stuff out and then sell it to Americans. But I think, Justin, you said that this is like the authentic stuff because they recently like legalized it again, I think, in the US.
Yeah, that's what the website said, that it is like an ancient recipe that should have the wormwood and stuff in it.
Okay. So Justin brought us something that could make us hallucinate. I don't know. I don't know what's next. So why are we drinking random strange stuff that could have weird effects on our bodies? It's
I'm
like
scared.
a Mitch Hedberg concert.
I'm so excited.
Okay, let's take a look at a few pictures.
Okay.
Not all these might be spring related, but
I think that we're gonna have to stretch the guidelines a little.
well, yes, spring is a specific category that we've ever had. These were uploaded before, so we can kind of just flip
These
through
guys
them
are
quickly.
springing into action.
Focus on that one. I saw some flower pictures in here. This seems like a spring-themed photo. Flowers are blooming. The dog is happy.
Oh, right. I was
Yeah, that's okay.
okay. I think
You're in
we
charge
all know.
here.
I think we can all guess what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you got a dark dog like that.
Dark dog.
I probably would have even added a step of exposure compensation. You don't want to overexpose stuff, but you had some room there. Erky, you got any thoughts?
No, maybe try to get lower. So you take the shot from eye level.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It kind of depends on what was above, right here. Like if there's a parking lot there.
Sometimes you want to hike something and you do that, but that said that generally you should try and do it from eye level.
Which book was
Really good book.
Which book was that?
I don't remember. Some douchebag.
Some American douchebag.
Some American douchebag.
This is not related to spring unless those actually are springs, but that is a super cool photo.
These are paper clips.
That's
Staples.
cool though, right? Really cool.
That looks like something Tigar would do.
Yeah, Tigar would do.
Yeah, maybe that is Tigar. I do expect a lot of flower photos today.
Of course.
Of
course.
This is, I think, a good example of a flower photo in that they have a focal point on there. They have the beetle. And that just makes it a step more interesting.
Flowers just aren't good enough anymore. This is 2000, what year is it? 2015?
It's already kicking in.
I'm imagining a different time. It's great. Wait, the egg, that's spring.
It is?
Oh yeah, eggs. All about
That'll be part of the game today, justifying why every picture is related to spring.
I think it's a little
Easter
underexposed.
egg.
Yes, it's an Easter egg.
Oh, Easter eggs, right.
Maybe they're not Christian and this is their protest.
Maybe so.
Maybe they hate Easter.
Erky.
I don't hate Easter. I didn't submit that.
There you go. Swedes hate Easter.
Swedes
Shocking
hate
development
Easter.
today.
I didn't know it. Now I do. All right, let's keep going. I like it. I wonder how many eggs they had to smash, and I wonder if their husband or wife was like, eggs are expensive. What are you doing?
This is one of those lying flies. They pretend to be
A bee?
a bee, but it's actually a fly.
Is it called a lying fly?
A dirty lying fly.
Mm.
Very cool photo. I mean, of course, Oh, I should have locked that.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Tip it back.
Cropped. Let's do it, Erky.
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers. I would actually turn this picture.
Oh, you want to go horizontal? Is that what you mean?
No, like.
Sorry.
You know what? I can't. And then, where's the little arrow that makes it turn? Like the whole picture.
You want to just rotate it?
Yeah. Maybe. Sometimes you gotta.
Like that?
Just try things out. Yeah. Right? Because now you're focusing more on the eye.
Yeah, I don't.
The eye?
Well,
Don't they have like a billion eyes?
I don't actually
man,
understand.
Erky just burned you with science.
Oh,
damn, it's real now.
Oh, that's it. I knew I didn't like Sweden for a reason. Okay. Yeah, I think I did it. Let's press Y. Oh, it doesn't care about that.
No, I wish it would show you the cropping and the before and after, and it doesn't. The eye.
The eye. Boy, is my face red.
The closest eye.
Yeah, just that one, the nearest of the 4,000 eyes. This is a very cute picture. I'm a little disturbed by the stick in the front.
You're disturbed by the stick.
I would have, yeah, I would have grabbed it and just moved it out of the way. And this, I'd probably like crop or clone out. But otherwise, I think
I like the colors.
the soft focus of it is really nice.
Let's crop it.
I think we're getting a lot of pictures from the same guy.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go back one. Whoa. How cool is that?
The Lumia 920, that's like a smartphone, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
That's an amazing smartphone picture. I never would have thought of. What's that?
Did they take that with a smartphone?
It says Lumia 920. You got to grade this on a curve, right? Based on the equipment.
This is great.
A flying bee picture is hard with any gear, but the smartphone, yeah, that's pretty remarkable. Congrats on that.
Congrats to you.
Maybe it's not a smartphone. I don't know.
I like this.
Yeah, that is a really cool picture.
It's a smartphone. I just looked it up.
Oh.
Wow, wow.
Look at Justin. He's got free time over there.
No, he doesn't.
He's doing research
He's
and
just
stuff.
amazing. This doesn't have anything to do with spring, but it's still really cool, and I feel like you knew that, and I feel like you're gaming the system, sir.
Yeah, butterflies are like a classic spring thing. Remarkably, just about everything important here is in focus. All the wings on the butterflies are kind of in the focal plane.
Yeah.
So that's about the best you could hope. Nice job.
Butterflies.
That's the same guy with the Lumia.
Come on, guys.
One picture per person. We should mention that.
What's this got to do with spring?
This
sir?
might be a leftover self-portrait from last week.
Oh, this is last week's photos?
Well, they might have come in.
Oh.
I think some people sent in spring photos, and I wasn't sure anybody had sent anything in. But I can go ahead and check and see if we have any new photos.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful picture.
Nice.
Weird bouquet on that.
I like
Bouquet.
it. Look.
But just to illustrate a point, this happens sometimes with mirror lenses. They have these edges to them, like they create halos around out of focus specular highlights. Okay, another flower photo looking nice.
Yeah, he already submitted one.
Oh, same guy.
Okay, that's not. Ooh, I like this one. I like the background a lot. It makes the photo.
Yeah, a Lumia 920. This guy's out of control.
This guy is out of control.
We are giving him a lot of attention.
You are out of control, sir or ma'am. I see a peep. I feel like this person.
I saw him too.
He probably didn't know.
Okay.
But there's a
I'll
one
import
photo
a few
rule.
more pictures. You guys can talk. Erky, entertain us for a second.
Erky, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in so long. Do you like my spring shirt?
I like it. And I like that you combined it with a blue jacket.
Yes, I have a Swedish.
Did you do that for me?
Well, I didn't, but I will say that I did.
Yes, you did.
I have a spring kind of theme going on. And you did too. You look kind of springy.
I wear this every day, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you find that it gets like smelly?
Well, yeah.
Robin's calling you out. Robin
I'm
said,
Swedish. We smell. That's our thing.
That's your thing.
Haven't you watched the show?
The Vikings?
The Viking show?
I have. Yeah. I have.
You guys with your, like, that's how you fill time?
You told us to talk. You didn't say it had to be meaningful or related to...
I thought you'd be like, hey, what do you think is the most exciting camera of 2015?
I don't care. I want to know about stinky Swedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Tony.
Okay, so here are some new photos that came in during the broadcast of the live show. I think this is a fantastic example of spring. These look like buttercups. Is that what those are called?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess they are buttercups. I bet they changed the color.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Keith, come on, Keith.
I can't think of anything to suggest for this. I like that you got down low. You put these flowers in the foreground, rolling hills. Erky, what do you suggest?
Sorry, I was going through the comments. Say again?
That's okay.
I'm not as good as this multitasking as Siobhan is.
You're right.
She can do everything at once.
I won't call on you anymore. I'll let you, but feel free to jump in whenever you can.
Yeah.
Right.
This is another interesting way to do a flower photo, which is to zoom in really tight and just fill the frame, let it go out to the edges.
I like it a lot.
I like this too, and I think this is a lot more interesting than just this flower in the center of the picture kind of thing. Nicely done.
Really nice. Ooh, this one's beautiful too. Wait, no, thought it was the same person. Really lovely. Great colors, great composition. It's simple, but it's nice. Perfect exposure on that.
Okay, so here they want to show the person and their kind of like relationship with the flowers. This is a common setting for a portrait. You see something really pretty, and you want to put a person in there and kind of, you think that the pretty setting makes for a good portrait, and it can actually be a difficult setting. And what kind of ended up happening is she's kind of in one corner of the frame, and it ends up being a little imbalanced. And I think you wanted to show the huge span of the rose vine. And yeah, I would suggest doing what Chelsea is doing, and you don't need to show the whole thing. The roses are a good idea, but I'd probably just get in tighter, show some of them in the foreground, and kind of squeeze everybody in. Fill as much of the background as possible with the roses. I think it was too much to try to put the person and the entire thing in there.
I like her expression though.
And great light out of it too, especially for what looks like sunlight. It's nice and soft.
This is peaceful.
It really is. It's a really nice winding path. The line leads it out towards the flowers. You have like a payoff there because the brightest colors are at the end of the pathway. Turned out really nice. It would also be a good spot for a portrait. This would be a great spot for a portrait.
Yeah.
Just frame your picture first, put it on a tripod, and then just move the person into the frame.
Something really weird with the sky, though. Why is it pink?
Yeah, I think the sky was blown out, and they tried to recover it or something, but I noticed that right away, too. I'd just undo that. It's okay if it's just white. I mean, it'd be nice if you had a beautiful blue sky.
I've always wanted to go to this place.
Yeah.
Is this like Namibia or something?
I don't know, but that's a stellar picture. I love the primary colors, the bright blue.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
I think I would bring the exposure up even more.
Looking at the histogram, it did look like it was a little underexposed.
See?
Yeah.
The one on the left looks a little flat.
Definitely more pop, and especially if you were going to make a print out of this, which you should, you'd want to make sure that whole histogram was used.
Just going to pop the whites here a little bit.
Perfect rule of thirds composition here. This is this is the time when the rule of thirds makes perfect sense. And they did something compositionally which adds so much depth to the frame, which is they allowed the top of the tree to break the horizon line here at the top and to go below it. So often people will stand up a little taller and then the top of the tree wouldn't break this top line here, and it just wouldn't be as compelling. It wouldn't have as much depth. But when you have these strong, powerful lines, to have the subject breaking them adds a lot to it. And in fact, I might have even crouched down a little bit lower so the tree better filled the top of the frame.
Right.
And balanced it a little bit better.
I like it.
But a really strong picture. Beautiful.
Oh, this is nice. It's interesting. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to bring up the exposure a little bit.
Yeah, don't be afraid to let the sky just get blown out. I think the selective focus here helps a lot. More visually interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Oh.
You understood the challenge.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is what we think of when we think of spring.
I just want to bring out this little guy's eye a little bit.
Gorgeous detail on it. Wow, I cannot find anything wrong with this picture. The settings are just perfect. One really minor thing you could do is to just remove the noise from the back. This is making a couple of edits that are making it pop just a little bit more. But Chapter 8 of Stunning Digital Photography has a video on editing wildlife photos. And one of the things I do is show you how to take that blurred background and just make it perfectly smooth. It's a minor point, but it would look a little better. Just make that blurred background completely creamy, especially because the blurred backgrounds are usually, with wildlife, they're either primary blue or primary green. You get extra noise in there just because of the way digital sensors work. Yeah. Blues get 1/4 the total light, greens get half the total light. So they're always a little noisier than the rest of the picture would be.
So cute.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice job editing it too.
I'm going to do it for you.
Yeah, this is what we often see with flowers, which is just a wide shot that includes a bunch of things that aren't the flower. And unfortunately, it's so common that it doesn't necessarily have the pop that you want. You want to fill the frame. Macro lens if you can't focus close enough, or you can get some inexpensive extension tubes and allow you to get a little bit closer to it, or do what we're doing now, which is get as close as you can and then crop and post. It's always better to get it in camera, but it's not necessarily always an option.
Cool. Ooh, a beautiful iris. I think I would bring up the exposure a little bit, just because the background is brighter than the foreground.
Well, I was thinking that too. The so strong to just grab those blues and just mute the colors a little bit. Here, the background is so bright and brightly lit that it steals the attention away from the foreground.
So mute.
I think you could use a radial filter here, right? If you take the flower in the front and then just use a radial filter around it, and then in the back you could lower the exposure and even the saturation a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it.
Ricky, look at you.
Yeah, if you were being picky about it, you'd probably want to go in and like try to mask the background.
Yeah.
But especially in Lightroom, sometimes you just want to do things quickly. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. Maybe just throw it on Facebook or something. Yeah. These sorts of radial filters are a real quick way to do it.
Yeah, it's a really pretty shot. I like it a lot. That's why I'm spending time with it. Okay.
Erky, no good comments from people today?
We do have actually some questions that I've copied here. So this one said, please, so I'm going to start with the Living Dead one is asking, how do they feel about shooting portrait when you're shooting a landscape?
Oh, this is something I don't do often enough, is just turn the camera vertically for landscapes. And it's a weakness that I have because 98% of my pictures are probably horizontal. Mm-hmm. We shoot a lot of video, and if you want to put a picture in a video, you need to be horizontal, and it's just a more natural hand position.
That's not a weakness I have.
You go vertical a lot.
I'm not afraid to flip it into portrait.
I wouldn't go so far as say I'm afraid.
No, I think you are. I think you're a fearful man.
I just forget
No,
it doesn't
no,
occur to me.
I'm like you, Tony. I go through my portfolio. It's 99% is portrait orientation and landscape orientation, and the rest is portrait. But the only time I really do portrait is if I have something tall, like a building or a frame somehow. But with landscapes, it's hard to find. I don't know, trees maybe,
Well,
or
with landscape,
which.
one thing I've noticed is I like to have a lot of depth, a lot of layers going this way. So sometimes I'll find, like a flower in the foreground, and then there will be a hill, and then something else, and then the sky. So I like to just get a lot of layers going.
Yeah.
It can backfire also. It can.
Yeah, good question. So I always recommend people like do both. Take it
Yeah, do
horizontally
both.
and then take it vertically because you really don't know how you're going to use it. If you're selling it as stock, somebody that's doing a full page ad or a full page display will want it vertically. But maybe if they do a 2-page fold, they'll need it horizontally.
Yeah.
If you're putting something on your wall, sometimes you're filling a wall space that just requires a vertical space. So it's always better to have both. But yeah, there are very valid reasons to shoot landscapes vertically. What other questions do you have, Erky?
Technical question from Brandon Isabel. What is the better portrait lens for a beginner? Canon 85L or Canon 70 to 200?
70 to 200, I would recommend.
Yeah,
It's our favorite portrait lens.
I think everybody needs the zoom. The zoom is just the quicker way to get things done. I mean, the primes for portraits definitely have their place, but to be able to get a tight headshot and then zoom back for a body shot, it's just so versatile and it makes things go so quickly. And
yeah, I don't have anything against primes. It's a really sharp lens, so the fact that it's a zoom, it's not hindering you in any way. It's just practical and easy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you? What do you think, Eric? You do a lot of portraits.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, 70 to 200, especially now. This was a question especially for a beginner. I would definitely go 70 to 200, and then it depends on what kind of portraits you're doing. If you're doing a wedding, for example, I would definitely need the zoom. You wouldn't want to go prime for a wedding, but if it's more controlled environment, family portrait out somewhere, then maybe 85L. So both are good, but for a beginner and it's more flexible, I would go 70 to 200. Sure.
I would agree too. And just to play the devil's advocate, I do know people that shoot weddings with just primes, and that's kind of their style and that's their thing. And if it works for you, fine. But like you said, for a beginner, it's just so versatile.
I would say primes when you can plan. And if you need to respond quickly, if it's spontaneous, if you're reacting to the moment, you can't beat zooms. Anything else?
Are you doing a review on the NX1, Tony, from Driver V86?
Yes, and it's a late review. I know it's been out for a couple of months, but Samsung just got one over to us, and we appreciate them loaning to us because it's kind of expensive to keep buying cameras and the big lenses that you need for these things. Yeah. But like I was saying earlier, so far, at least with the sports focusing, it's amazing. And we also have already completed a video review of it as far as being a 4K camera. And it's excellent. It's very comparable to the GH4, but except for the focusing, which tracking moving subjects in 4K video was amazing. It was spot on. The GH4, the A7, they can't keep up with it. You can track a moving subject coming towards the camera and freeze every frame, and every frame is perfectly sharp, even with very shallow depth of field. I've never used a camera that had such a good focus tracking system for video. Let's go over a couple of your comments from the past week.
Chit chat. Vinod Jain said, a lot of time pass in this video. You do time pass, and so we waste our time. Explain your knowledge in detail with no time pass. You guys are getting a little bit demanding about something I don't know about, which is time pass.
Time pass.
I guess I didn't. Okay, so some people like to have like a very direct, just technical bam, bam, bam video. Some people like to have a little bit in between. This show is a very casual format, so we like to chatter a little bit. If you don't want any time pass, you can go to one of Tony's overviews or something, and he's just very technical and to the point.
Yeah, if you look in SDP, the videos, they average about 3 to 5 minutes in length.
Yeah.
They're very to the point. We try to communicate information as efficiently as possible. That's
Good
not
point.
the goal.
Good
now
point.
we're enjoying a drink.
Yeah.
And we're hanging out and we're looking at some pictures.
Oh, so I really liked this comment. He said, apart from the content, now something different. Compliments for your clear pronunciation and language. For me, as a German, your English is extremely well to understand, which is not necessarily true with some of the other guys here on YouTube. The recordings are crisp. A pleasure to follow your lecture. Thanks for that. And actually, I'm going to say that that comment goes to you, Tony. And I think that you're so incredibly articulate because Tony wrote like 35 books or something for Microsoft, and they had to be easy to understand for English as a second language because these books were published all over the world. And as a result of your editors, I think that you've gotten really good at being just very clear and succinct and good at teaching people at all levels and everything. So I agreed with him, and I think that's a skill that's just like really helping us teach people.
Thanks. Yeah, I
appreciate you,
I
Tony.
always think of English as a second language, viewers and readers. And so I don't ever try to use big and fancy words, and often I will use a simpler word, even if it's not as technically thorough. Because I first and foremost need to be understood, and about 2/3 of our audience is outside the United States.
So all of our books are ESL friendly.
Yeah.
And all of our videos, we try to make them ESL friendly. Maybe this one is the most casual, but yeah. So yeah, props, Tony. You're bringing us to another level, right, Erky? Erky, his English is terrible, and we relate to him perfectly.
I know, but I'm glad you see past my bad English and allow me to be online. Anyway. Yeah.
Can't understand a word that guy says.
I still can't understand anything.
Okay, good.
Erky, has the sun come out?
Ever?
No.
How long are your days there during the winter? Well, I know you have days when there's no sun, right?
Well, in Stockholm, we do get sun even in the darkest of times.
Oh, really?
About 4 hours or something. But further north in Sweden, they have periods where the sun doesn't go up at all in 24 hours. Then again, in the same place during summer, the sun never sets. So
that's crazy. Yeah, that was our experience when we visited Stockholm and hung out with you. I remember waking up at 4 a.m. because my body clock was just off, and it was light outside.
Yeah, you're like, sweet.
Yeah.
Even the sun, you just have sunsets that last for
forever.
Hours and hours, and it's spectacular. It's just amazing in the summer.
Our golden hours are actually golden 4 hours.
Yeah.
I remember that because here when the sun's setting, we have maybe 10, 15 minutes. And there, I remember we were rushing to get to a spot to photograph the sunset, and it just lasted for an hour and a half or something like that.
And then you go to someplace on the equator, like Hawaii.
Oh, drops right down.
Literally, you can't do a shoot at sunset because you have 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some more flower pictures here. Common picture for our spring theme. And here I actually wish there were more depth of field. Don't you think? Because this is the first part of the picture that popped in my eye, and it's a little bit out of focus.
Yeah.
So I just raised that f-stop number. You're at f5.6, f11, f22, or you can do focus stacking, as we show in chapter 12 of SDP.
f16, am I right? A chicken in a basket. I want one. What a spoiled chicken. I bet this is just his primary mode of transportation. He's like, Human, fetch my basket.
Here I would like to see this cropped down to just show the bare elements of the story. Maybe the guy carrying the basket is an important part of it. I don't know. There is actually a little bit of movement to it.
Chicken in a basket. You ever just see a picture that makes you write a song, Erky? Chicken in a basket.
We all know the famous Swedish song, Chicken in a Basket.
I wouldn't write that song.
Because you couldn't think of a song that great? I feel for you.
I don't think that's what he meant, Chelsea.
I think that's what he meant, and I think we should all move on.
Did you crop that Easter basket thingy, or
no? I
just said you should.
I just zoomed in, but I have a feeling like you're dying to drink something.
No.
Turn it from a snapshot to a really good picture.
No.
If you crop it.
I'm disagreeing so hard. Oh my God.
No.
No. I wasn't sure because I think the guy carrying the basket is such a key part of the story.
Yes, that's the story. Chicken in a basket.
I just thought
Did you guys even listen to my
wanted to provide
songs?
an excuse for people to drink.
He's not important. If it was important, you would see who it is.
You guys aren't.
I think you're right. I was confused about what exactly the story for it was too.
I think the story is this chicken's the boss.
Okay, let's see if we can get Lightroom to open up the next picture.
Okay, this is a jungle. Hello. Spring where they live.
Yeah, I didn't know what the story was here. I just didn't know.
Jungles have springs.
They do?
I don't know. I think so. We don't have jungles in Sweden.
You don't know anything about jungle, Swede.
No. We have greenhouses
Yeah.
with jungles.
This is a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it really is. But to me, the focal point is the butterfly. And I don't want to crop tight around it, but I want to put it in a compositionally interesting place. I think I want to push it into the corner.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to let you roll with this one. This sounds like a tricky one.
He seems like he's facing right, so...
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Tony just did. Tony just did, Eric.
I can't believe it.
I see you referencing an American movie.
Did he do that?
That's because we make all the good movies for the world. That's our gift for the world, is Hollywood.
I can't believe he's saying this because...
Well, what's your favorite Swedish movie?
Sorry, Eric. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't even think of any.
Oh,
what about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Well,
yeah, the American version was better, of course.
A Swedish movie, and then Hollywood just butchered it.
Yeah, just vastly improved it.
We just butchered it into greatness, but that's none of my business. We fight with Erky about which country's better all the time. So this is just normal.
It's not really a fight because Sweden is so superior in so many ways.
Yes, right now we're communicating with Erky on the Swedish internet. No, that's not quite right.
Actually, his internet is faster, and that just...
that's true. They did kind of...
That just gets my goat.
Adopt it and then take it over.
Okay.
This is a fantastic picture.
Yeah.
I love the juxtaposition here.
Oh,
the storytelling is just great.
It.
There's a little Dutch tilt in there. Adds a little motion to it, a little
Swedish
action.
tilt.
We don't tilt things.
No, they're very straightforward that way.
Okay. Erky, someone got mad at me last show because I said we would never go south of the equator. And they were like, you and your American bubble.
We'll go south of the equator.
I agree. I was very upset by that.
You were?
Yeah, I've never been south of the equator. I came close. I went to Singapore or something. That's pretty close. But,
there's not like, yeah.
So I don't know what it looks. Does it look like here, or everything is just upside down?
I fear that, so that's why I can't go.
Yeah.
You can't even joke like that because people south of the equator don't have a sense of humor, apparently.
Oh, Dems is fighting words. No, we have trips planned for south of the equator, but you know what the real issue is? It costs so much money to get past the equator.
Yeah.
It's like there's an equator tax.
Is it like a toll? So when you pass it, you have to pay a toll?
It seems that way based on the airfare rates. The equator toll, they got to lift that.
I brightened this picture because I wanted the whites in the flower to be close to white. That's all. Yeah, I think a crop could work here too. That's nice. That still has all the essential elements of it.
I just Tony'd it.
Makes it a little bit better.
Look at these two. Oh, is this sexual? No.
I have never...
I don't know.
Are these bitterns?
I don't know.
I have never seen them display this behavior. A baby and a mother? Justin, have you seen anything like this? You're a bird guy.
I don't know what it is.
Fellow bird nerd. Okay.
I don't know.
Bee on a flower.
Uh-oh. Wardrobe change. Erky.
What?
Erky changed his wardrobe?
He went from Swedish to kiss.
What are you talking about?
I don't know either.
It must be the absinthe.
This is
the absinthe.
Gorgeous
The
picture, beautiful
hallucinations are
colors.
starting.
I will say we still have some of those little liquors that you sent us. I thought I would bust them open. Which one of these looks more appealing to you? The
Let me read them.
Brandvin or the... Okay.
You gave us
Which ones do you have?
You gave us the Swedish new bar. We have Ortagardis. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you nailed that.
Brandvin and Holmes Flader.
He did change his shirt.
Ah, Flatter, that's good.
Flader.
Yeah. Take that one. It's Flatter, by the way.
Flader.
I don't even know what's that in English. Let me check. What's that? It's a flower.
Flader.
It's kind of a flower.
This is a beautiful picture. I love the brightness of the sun and the God rays here. The exposure is pretty perfect.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful rule of thirds composition here. There's nothing I can do to improve on this. You absolutely nailed it.
You nailed it, sir. You should crop it just for old time's sake. Look at this baby.
Here, Justin, one of these is for you when you get a chance to hop
thanks.
up. We don't know what it is, but it's got booze in it, so we'll give it a shot. This reminds me of...
It smells funny.
Like every picture that you take in Texas this time of year. They always stick you in a bluebonnet field, so every single family has a picture of their kid in a bluebonnet field. Those are not bluebonnets, but it just reminds me of it. Beautiful picture, perfect exposure. You went ahead and let the sun blow out the sky in the background, but his skin tones are perfect, and he's the most important part of it.
Okay.
Good balance to the picture. Follows the rule of space and the rule of thirds. Nicely
I like
done.
that pop of color. It's very spring.
Are you guys drinking here?
I haven't
yeah.
started.
Is this like a
Oh,
shot
I guess I'll try it.
I was going to sip it,
I'm going
but
to sip. I'm
Cheers.
going to sip.
Oh,
That's elderberry, Chelsea.
Mmm.
wow, that's really interesting. I've never had anything quite like that.
This is like nutritious, isn't it?
that is a delight.
Yeah,
This is good for you. It's good for the body. It's good for the soul.
Erky is not a doctor.
No.
Don't treat that like medical advice. But it tastes delicious.
We know.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
It tastes.
We drink that for midsummer and what else? Christmas. Pretty much every
Thursdays.
Saturday.
We drink it for Thursday.
Thursdays, Saturdays, Tuesdays.
This year I want to have a midsummer party.
Me too.
It seems like such a cool tradition.
Yeah.
I mean, just people party and drink a whole bunch, but it's a Swedish like
It's the
summertime.
best.
There's lots of dancing
Midsummer
and
in Sweden
songs.
is the biggest day of the year. It's even bigger than Christmas.
Wow.
Over here. It's great fun.
I want to come visit you for it.
Yeah.
This picture is very lovely. I'm going to say it. It's lovely.
Yeah, I just want to get a little closer to the iceberg, but I also want to keep in that sky and the water beneath it. So I'm just trying to
Ooh, I think you're cropping a little too much, but let's see how this works for you.
just push it right to the edges there.
Oh, you know what? I think you made
Maybe a little less.
maybe a little. I like the water. Maybe put the iceberg in like.
The water is more interesting than the sky, isn't it?
Yes, that's what.
Hmm.
Let's do a Chelsea.
I like those colors at the top, but maybe add like a gradient filter and.
See,
Oh, I see.
this
That's
way,
interesting, too.
then the iceberg's more in the bottom
Yeah.
third.
What you could do is maybe clone the sky from the part that you're cloning out. If you clone that down into the crop, then
No, that's too. That's crazy.
it's too advanced.
Well, yeah. Come on.
Well,
No, I like that idea.
No, it's
You're
not-
saying
What do you think? This is my job or something? Come on.
take the key elements and just pull this top part of the sky down a little bit. Lightroom is not the right tool for this, but let me see what I can do.
Chelsea, I will make you a tutorial to explain how you do
Yes,
that.
please do.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what are you doing? I'm scared.
See, I'm this show, so he's being polite.
I don't know politeness. Okay.
I know that.
You've experienced that firsthand.
Yes,
Okay.
I feel the pain every day.
See, you can do a lot in Lightroom.
See, perfect.
No. This
Yeah.
came out better than I expected.
That's not bad, right?
Dang! You guys brought this picture to a new level.
Good idea, Ericy.
Right?
Ericy, you're the man.
Thought those were blue bonnets for a second. So, beautiful picture. This seems like a place somebody would drop their kids. It could use a focal point, but I think I would like to.
Make me take you to the bluebonnet field.
Yeah, in the woods.
Well, no, what do you think?
Yeah, it maybe even a touch of the.
In a portrait in that environment.
Sometimes you see like a spot, and you're like, you just need to bring a focal point. Drop a person in there.
I give it a little more pop.
Wirecast just keeps like dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. I should probably restart Wirecast, right?
Oh man, are we back live now?
No. I've tried like free on, and people are saying, "Oh, we lost it," and it just keeps giving me this error.
I guess that's what you have to do. Sorry, Ericy, we're having technical issues there.
Always, Ericy.
Well,
yeah,
we might be on now.
Oh yeah, it says good.
Seconds.
It says good.
Okay, sorry that we're having some technical problems. It just happens on them.
That happens.
I think it was my fault.
I do
Sorry.
too.
Yeah, it's probably
That
all
was
Ericy.
the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Justin, have we gotten any interesting tweets in?
Not terribly interesting. No questions or anything.
Okay.
Let's bring this dog up.
Yeah, this is one of the most common problems we see is dogs are just a little bit underexposed.
Dogs are always being underexposed.
Dark subjects are a little bit underexposed, so you have to just raise the shadows.
And then I'm gonna. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Let's bring up the purples.
Yeah, I have a feeling they were actually brighter in real life. Yeah, sometimes dropping the luminance is a good way to bring colors out. Sometimes I'll up the saturation and drop the luminance a little bit.
This is a very fancy dog. I love
Fancy? It. He's covered in mud. He's clearly like had a great time that day.
He is beautiful.
But he's posing so nicely in there. Just like a little kid. Like, you get them to the spot where you're going to take a picture and then you realize their face is like covered in Cheetos or they have a frog in their pocket or something.
I would get this other kid out of the background. No offense to this other child, but...
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yes.
You know what's happening in the comments field now?
Oh, no.
They're drinking when you're raising the shadows.
I'm not responsible for any deaths.
Oh, man.
What?
I'm just trying to think. I wish there was something like Tony Northcroft for raising shadows. It doesn't quite have the same ring.
Yeah. Shadows.
No.
Think of something.
Nice try.
Another springtime portrait. I also feel like it's a little bit underexposed.
Guys, come on. I've got to raise the shadows. Look at her shirt. It's just a big black mass. Judge me.
Wait for it. All right.
Judge me if you must, but it had to be done. Let's look at the before and after.
It's better. I feel like we gotta burn in her shirt there a little bit because you want this to be black, don't you think? We won't do it.
You want to burn her shirt?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's such
That's
a
not-
pervert. People don't realize that. This is a little.
This is what we're doing now. Chelsea. Yeah. What is duration or clarity or something?
I don't know. Can I have my own slider?
The Ericy slider.
Tony, what are you doing?
I just liked the sun popping through here, and I felt like it would be a really useful.
I'm bored with this. Perfect. I don't know what they wanted us to do with it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. The sky looks fantastic.
The sky is
I don't even see any
great.
editing artifacts.
Let's try to do something, just because we can't just let people.
It's perfect.
No.
Oh, okay.
We can't just let people submit pictures and then think they're perfect.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I know the comments are a little bit late but they're saying it's crashed again.
Yeah, I just like refreshed it, did it again.
Oh yeah, sorry. I know we're coming in and out, but
Okay.
Let's look.
are we off right now or?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're
now,
good.
I think, yeah.
I guess, these are the troubles you encounter when you're doing something
Live
difficult.
TV, folks.
Yeah.
I'm always live.
Me too.
So depth of field is definitely a challenge here, and I definitely wish this had more depth of field. I would like to see
I
that
like it.
entire stamen in focus.
Oh.
Really, you want?
No, I like this.
Okay. We'd have a difference of opinion.
You're wrong, Tony. This is great.
As an American, I believe in democracy. I know you Swedes don't.
No, yes,
go
they do.
down that path.
Well, we do that on paper, but not really. We don't believe it.
Yeah, we don't have any choices here in America either.
Okay, well, let's go past it. This person knows they nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't know how Sweden works. Do they have a government, or do they just all do what they want?
It's on paper only.
Yeah. I thought you just made up your own rules.
I can't believe he's saying something negative about Sweden.
No, this isn't negative to him.
This is not negative, no.
Yeah, I don't really trust people to vote anyway.
Okay, let's just move on.
People are too stupid to vote anyway.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like that? That's why we only let like 5 states in the union vote.
Oh goodness.
For president.
Let's just drink absinthe, because that's what people do.
What's that? Is that the American version of Stonehenge?
Maybe so.
Erky?
Not that old and kind of small. I don't know what to make of this.
I feel like if it were the American version, it would be bigger and made of steel or something.
Yeah, it would have explosions.
They did that in Las Vegas, didn't they? They built like the Eiffel Tower and all kinds of the pyramid.
Yes, and you joke about Vegas, but I think if anyone would love Vegas, it would be you, Erky.
Erky would love Vegas.
I never.
Oh, you've not been?
You gotta bring.
No. I never been.
Okay. Well, we have to do that.
Yeah, that would be a good place for you.
Drink if you must, but this picture was a little bit dark.
They also put in a tiny New York in Las Vegas.
What? Why? We already have New York.
It's not that close. So you guys gotta agree.
It's so big they can put a big New York inside.
A full-size New York.
Yeah.
No, but there's like, I think it's New York, and they have Eiffel Tower. Not the Eiffel Tower. I'm hallucinating.
The Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty is there.
Roller coaster.
Yeah. Justin knows all about Vegas.
Yeah. Justin lives in Vegas.
This shot definitely needs more depth of field, right? We need those flowers in the foreground here to be sharp. You guys gonna fight me on this one too?
Yeah, you're wrong again.
Yeah, I think you're wrong.
This is nice. I'm gonna put it in black and white because I think it's more about form.
I agree, and the exposure is really nice here. You let the white completely white, which is something most people don't do. Nicely done.
What if you don't desaturate it all the way? Just pull the saturation down almost to 0, but leave a little bit of color.
No, not a bad approach. I like that too.
You're so polite, Tom.
Erky, I'm gonna have to tell you you're wrong, and I don't like to do that.
I didn't say it was going to be better. I was
No.
trying.
I actually think it's good. I'm just teasing. Let's roll.
Okay, so classic landscape here. They use the sun as a focal point.
There's some chromatic aberration. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah, show them how to do that.
I'm going to show you something that's going to change your life. I think. Oh yeah, remove chromatic aberration. And then...
Yeah, drag that purple up. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Look at that. A lot of it's gone.
Yeah, let's just zoom in on the before and after here. And
oh, it doesn't...
Oh, there, it's showing it now. So look at these purples here. It's just an artifact of the lens. Different wavelengths of light travel differently through the optics in your lens.
Yeah.
So the purples just land in a different spot than the greens and blues. Well, purples. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Lightroom can fix it. Takes just a couple of clicks. I like this one in black and white too. I don't mind the colors. It's kind of a pretty just bicolor blue and green thing.
Yeah.
I think it works either way.
Yeah, I like it both ways.
Okay. Sorry, we both did the same thing. This is tough. These, his wings were not perfectly in the depth of field, so one of them is kind of out of focus. I'd also just crop in a little bit.
Nice. Wait, are we even caring that it's spring pictures anymore? I feel like we're just doing all of them.
Well, let me skip forward and see. Okay, we have a lot of flower pictures.
It's only flowers, it seems.
Yeah, this is a challenging one. I just expose for the subject and try to just bring the highlights down a little bit.
Oh, I hear you in my...
I'm getting some feedback.
Oh,
This is a spring picture.
dear Lord,
Beautiful
they're
little
so
goats.
cute. Their skin doesn't even fit them. You're like, oh, that is adorable.
We eat
Right
lamb
again.
for Easter, actually.
Why do you do that?
Well,
Look at this.
it's tradition. We eat lamb for Easter. Just saying.
Brutal.
So you're seeing this and you're feeling kind of hungry right now.
Yes.
Oh,
I gotta say that instinct didn't appeal to me. It didn't come to me right away.
look at him. Please
They're
don't,
so
Sweden.
cute. No, Ericy.
No, Ericy, no.
We really don't eat lamb in the U.S.
Yeah, some people do. It's pretty gamey.
Fingers are a rough thing to include in any photo. As
Why?
somebody who was frequently holding cameras that are close up, like it's hard time to show skin on a photo.
Okay. I thought it was fun. This is cool. She got a little creative with it.
Which of these pictures strike you, Chels? It's a beautiful wildlife
Cute.
picture.
Is that a mockingbird?
Crop it.
No, I think it's a
Crop
flycatcher.
it?
You must crop it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree
It's
about
in
the
the middle.
cropping.
Yeah. A little bit.
Get in there tight.
Y'all crazy.
I just wanted to drink.
You can drink anytime you want. Well, if you were an American.
This is a great photo. I love the use of symmetry here. More depth of field might have helped. I don't know. I probably would have shot it both ways. Maybe even done focus stacking. But they filled the frame with the subject. Used symmetry to make it a powerful composition.
I like it really bright.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little underexposed at first.
Isn't it a little bit tilted to the left, though?
Yeah.
You're right. Good eye, Ericy.
Oh my gosh, that Ericy eye.
That's
every
my
time.
man. The only guy.
Yeah.
Every
Because I'm
time.
drinking beer, not absinthe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everything seems tilted to me right now.
Everything.
So wow.
That's Tony
Yep.
as the tiger. So.
Tony.
Thanks for that. Never seen anything quite like that before.
Whoa, this is cool. Very great. Very,
Yeah.
very great. Do you think it's a little underexposed, or is that like the mood?
Well, I just felt like, yeah, I think you need some heavier processing on this because I feel like it's a comp and it didn't quite match up perfectly. But I like the effect, and yeah, I think with some heavier processing, you just wouldn't notice it as much. I like the wind through the dress, and even her expression and the setting is gorgeous. I like the picture a lot. Caught
I
my
love
eye.
it. I love it.
Nicely done.
Best one today.
Pardon?
Best one today.
Best one.
Oh, that's your favorite. All right. You know what?
Best one today.
5 stars and a pick.
What is this?
I can put on some accent. if you want
Best
to.
one today.
This pictureograph was the best one today.
Which accent is that?
It's a Swedish
I
accent.
have no idea. I have no idea.
Let's try a New Zealand accent. Let's hear yours.
New Zealand.
Yeah, best one today.
Best one today.
Best one today.
Is the best one today.
We need to do each show in a different accent, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Just to connect to the people.
Yeah, people found out last
have
week
a
that I was
global
great
audience.
at being British.
You're excellent at being British. I didn't know you were holding back.
This is like a classic spring picture.
Yeah, this is classic.
Turned out really nice.
This kid's Swedish. It's a little cool. Her skin tones are cool.
Oh, you want to
I'm
warm
going
it
to
up a
warm
little
this
bit, huh?
baby up. Look at that baby.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Nice.
See that? Cool
You
baby?
totally nailed that.
Warm baby.
Her eyes too much?
No, those are her eyes. This
You think
child
that's just
is
her eyes?
Swedish. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We all have eyes like that in Sweden.
Eric, Gary, do you really have blue eyes?
That is cute. Or delicious,
You
depending
could
on
have
whether
just
you're
said yes,
Swedish or
Ericy.
American.
Show off. I never saw so many white people in my life as when I went to Sweden.
Yeah, it's weird.
I was definitely the only Puerto Rican in Sweden.
Might be right.
Yeah, think about these things.
Which of these pictures
That deer.
catch your eye before we?
Oh no, this thoughtful cow. Will I be steak? That was nice. Hold on. This guy's adorable. What are you doing? Levitating.
Oh, lamb. Now I got hungry again.
Oh, what about this, Eric? Is this your traditional like
dessert
midsummer's meal? Angry cat.
Yeah. That reminds me of my grill.
Not cute
Guys,
enough.
that's someone's pet. Look at this one. This one really strikes me.
Does that say spring to you?
Yes, bring up them boobies.
What's the focal point?
The necklace?
All I see is the pendant. Yeah. And cherries.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at this dapper gentleman.
Yeah, he's pretty adorable. That's
He's
a really
like,
cute
why am I
portrait.
so cute?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what you have to do? You
Hungry,
have to get
Erky?
that piece of trim to cover up that you have a backdrop, and then it looks like a wall.
I would like this without the flowers. Just make it, simplistic.
Yeah.
And maybe even a wider crop, just that blue wall all around.
I gotta include this because this person really tried to adhere, challenge.
Yeah.
And I think that this is that edible basket grass, and that's cool. You could eat everything in this picture.
Like an American thing. I feel like we were giving kids Easter baskets and they were just eating the grass, and so they're like, what are we going to do with these American kids? Just let them eat everything.
But that has nothing to do with spring.
It was a nice portrait, though.
Yeah,
but the off-camera eye contact was a little weird. I feel like somebody else was taking the picture and they just kind of jumped in.
I keep going back to the boob picture. I want to know the story.
You're such a dude.
I like them boobies. Wait, don't fight me. Don't fight me on this.
You're driving.
I'm driving.
She's part of the Hubba Bubba herd.
Look at this one. I don't know about that one. So yeah, we had some great pictures. Is this an elephant? That's adorbs.
I want to jump back to, there were a couple of nice aloe feeding pictures in here. Aloe feeding is this process where I think it's so cute because the male bird will pick up food and bring it to either a female bird or a baby. But sometimes the female is totally capable of getting their own food. It just seems like a chivalrous thing.
This is exactly what we do.
It is kind of like that, and that's part of why it's so cute. And this actually looks like maybe a mother bringing it to a baby who's out of the nest. But these house sparrows here, I think it's probably a male feeding a female who might be pregnant. So you'll see the female will be right next to the feeder, and the male will grab the food and bring it over to it. I just always thought it was the cutest bird behavior.
You're sweet, honey. Is that why you feed me all the time?
I'm owl feeding you. That's why I insist on doing it mouth to mouth. That's really cute. It seems like he's kind of lost in the woods.
That's beautiful. Let's go back to this. Let's not just breeze by this. I feel like it's a little underexposed or something.
That seems to be your thing now.
Well, you know what? It's a common...
Raise the shadows, Chelsea.
Yeah, we got to work on that, but it's coming along.
You know what? You don't have to tell me twice. Let's crop it. Oh, now I'm Tony. Look at him. He's like,
yeah, I totally
so
agree.
adorable.
Yeah, push it right to the corner.
Dang, he's cute.
Well, before we head out, we should thank our sponsor.
Our show is over.
Squarespace. So you could keep going if you want. I don't think anybody's going to complain.
Let's pull an all-nighter, Ericy. Ericy, what time is it there?
Yeah.
Ericy's
I got
game.
some comments for you if you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pitch in.
Yeah, tell me.
So, Chelsea, are you from Canada?
No, but I've had other people ask me that, so my accent must be a little bit Canadian.
I will agree with that being from Texas, that if the farther north you go, the more Canadian the accent becomes. And by the time you get to Maine, It's like a distinct. It just kind of blends evenly into Canada by
Quite
that
frankly, I don't know what that's all about.
point. What other questions you got for us, Eric?
Okay, Fat Space Panda says that kiss means pee in Swedish.
Oh
Kiss
my
means
God!
Did you know that?
You pulled one over on us, Eric.
Erky, you're pulling a Dom Bauer right now.
Oh my God! Don't even put that idea in his
I have
head.
a serious one.
Okay.
From 88 Hosea. What is a neutral density filter used for, and what is its importance?
It's used for ruining pictures.
What?
No, it's not.
Would you care to field this question, Eric?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, you basically stop down the exposure by putting a filter on the lens to bring it down. You can use it for. Actually, the other week we had a solar eclipse. Then it was really good use for that. Or if you want to do a long exposure of water, for example, a waterfall.
Yeah.
Then if you don't have a filter, then the picture would be seriously overexposed because of the long shutter time. So then you put this ND filter on it, and you can pull down the exposure by 8 or 10, or they have different filters.
So I was thinking of a graduated filter. Sorry.
Oh yeah. There are graduated neutral density filters. You're right.
Yeah, those are useless. I agree.
Those are useless.
They were useful in the film days, but nowadays, I don't know. I think the three of us probably prefer doing stuff in
I'm
post.
in the here and the now, Tony.
Just bracket it, blend it together later.
Yeah.
What are the
Okay, so driver V86. I'm only able to use a 2/3 inch sensor compact camera right now. Is it normal for long distance details to be mushy? When shooting close up, things seem sharp. Anything in the distance is bad.
So there are a couple of different reasons this could be. One, people never factor in atmospheric conditions.
Yeah.
So no matter what the size of your sensor is, if you're shooting something far away and there's any humidity in the air, which there always is, things are going to be more mushy. But at the same time, I bet if he has such a small sensor, he's probably using one of these super zooms.
I was
like
going to
these
say,
little
which lens is he
cameras.
using? Yeah.
And there's a new Nikon that advertises an 83x zoom. It
Yeah.
goes out to an equivalent 2,000 millimeters.
That sounds like bullshit to me.
Right, because we have a 500 millimeter lens and it weighs 9 pounds.
Yeah.
And they have a 2,000 millimeter lens that is like this big.
And that one wasn't very expensive either, right? It was something Nikon J90
or something like that. Yeah. But
and it was pretty cheap too. So
$500 or $600.
I mean, you know what my mom taught me? If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. And this is a classic case of that.
Yeah. So if you want sharp pictures of faraway stuff, there is no alternative to just having a big chunk of glass. There isn't another option. You don't get a free lunch with those little point and shoot cameras, and you'll just probably always get mushy pictures, and it's a bummer.
Sorry.
Here's a big glass.
What is that?
It's a big glass.
That's actually, it's called a bottle.
Okay. Well,
that's for serving multiple people.
This is
not just you.
Rum. This is Zacapa. Have you ever tried that?
What is it?
So.
Fantastic, bro.
Special rum.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Fantastic.
You're such a pirate.
I have one more if you have time.
Yeah.
We have time.
Got nowhere to go.
So this is for Justin. So Justin, Chris Tokashiki asks, my wife is starting out on video and she wants to get some sort of a rig. What type of rig do you use on your videos?
I saw that one. I don't know the name brand offhand. Do you know, Tony?
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
We
But
failed you.
The thing about the rig is there's a standard like 15 millimeter tubing.
Yeah.
And then lots of people make different attachments for these like pair of 15 millimeter tubes. It all just starts with this pair of tubes. And we've all agreed on the distance and the width of the pipes. So you get stuff that attaches to that and then you just build it. But you don't have to get a rig from any one maker. So it doesn't really matter. It's a pair of tubes.
Tubes.
Yeah. that all? Are we wrapping it up? Nothing else? No good comments or anything?
No.
I'll finish with
I'm
this
good.
picture, which turned out beautifully. He nailed it. Speaking of long exposures, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you next week. We're here every Thursday. Photos live. Oh, we got to check on.
Cool. Let's find
I almost
out.
forgot.
I thought we had another chit chat too.
Oh, do we? Okay. Sports. We're doing sports next week.
Sports. You guys are crazy.
These
Let's
results
do
came
it.
in live. Travel was a close second, but sports went out. Let me just pull up. Oh boy, type my password.
Mom. I think we have another comment. Better be good.
Okay, wait, I gotta.
Enough about the cameras. I want to know, what toothbrush do you use, Tony?
I'm a very practical guy.
No, okay, let me field this one. I don't know what toothbrush you use, but your teeth are just naturally like that. You have these like super white, oddly straight teeth. You've never had braces. They look like veneers. You creep me out, bro. How'd you get so lucky?
Yeah, I don't often go to the dentist, but when I do, like the last time I was at the dentist like called in the assistants and stuff, and they're like, "Look at this guy's teeth," and they're like, "Wow, like, what happened? How did you manage this?" Never had any dental work done.
You have great teeth.
My dad's the same way. Like my dad, the Air Force forced him to go to the dentist once, and then I don't think he's been to the dentist since. And he just has always had perfect teeth. So just I did not win the genetic jackpot in any way. I'm the least athletic guy around.
It all went to your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I won good teeth,
You
which
have
is
a very
nice.
American smile.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. Wow, that's how we're going to end the show.
Okay, thank you to our sponsors, Squarespace.
Thank you, Squarespace, for letting us talk
They make
about
all this
Tony's
possible.
teeth.
You have beautiful portfolios. If you go to Squarespace, it's all very easy to set up and use. They have apps for your phone that will let you show your portfolio wherever you happen to go. Beautiful analytics that tell you who's visiting your website and how often. You do not need to know HTML or CSS, but if you do, you can go in and customize everything fantastically. We both use it wonderfully. It's up 24/7. They have fantastic customer support in case anything ever does go wrong. And if you want your own portfolio, the best way to make your pictures look fantastic, visit squarespace.com/Tony and use the coupon code PhotoLive.
Eric, I need to thank you for joining us.
Thanks for covering for Siobhan.
You've been a dear.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for adding your own feedback.
Your wardrobe change was stellar.
Yeah, I can't believe it's like,
like
the
you a
Oscars
lot.
here, changing a wardrobe in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin, for helping us out. And the rest of you, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Tell your
Buy
friends.
our book. Stop being cheap. It's only $9. I know you have that. Just going to put that out there. Eric, bye.
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 Eric.